could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Yeah, times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you, the door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today, learn the part and join the play. The world is here, let's say.
Good evening and welcome to Divine Reality. I'm Lori and I am happy and grateful to see you all in joining us tonight. Have you checked your attitude today? It's Friday, it's the weekend, and it should be a good day. One of the most important life-changing things is one's attitude. When you got a nasty, negative attitude, it's a quick way to shut down all of your work that you've put into your personal transformation practices. It's easy to go through life seeing all the negative in all your situations and circumstances. If all we see is the poor, pitiful me mindset, gloom and doom, worry, doubt, and then that's exactly what you're going to get. And it's impossible to live the life that we dream of. A good attitude is something that we need to choose on a daily basis. You know, our attitude is the decision of how we're going to live, happy or distraught, negative, ugly, those type things. You want to be happy because a lot of times we feel stuck. How we have to start with knowing that you're a more powerful being than you know. So if you feel stuck, you have to connect back with your infinite source, which is inside of you. And you have to, I got light issues. You have to, let's turn this on and see if it helps. Boom. Ooh, real bad. Okay. That's better. If you choose to live with those attitudes of hope and faith, then you're going to see things start to drastically change for the better. And the self-pity and the worry and the doubt, those kind of start subsiding. Because somebody that owns up to a destructive mindset and attitude, they tend to carry that with them throughout everything. But when you have a positive and a happy and a lighter mood, and you know you carry that in all your aspects, then all that's going to come back to you. If you're making some choices, good or bad, and you keep seeing the same circumstances continue and you receive the same results, then those are not the right choices for you. Every day that we are given is an opportunity for some type of personal growth. And if your negative attitude continues, then take a minute, see yourself, imagine yourself, and what you would really love. You don't want to go through going, somebody owes me attitude. Take responsibility for yourself and your personal attitude. And that way, when you hold that image in your mind of the life that you would love to live, and the attitude that you have of love and people loving you and coming to you and wanting to be around you, then you hold that image, you'll start to see those things take place. Often we're a slave to so much of our personal growth, and one of them is to our attitudes. Many of them are to our egos. So don't get confused egos with attitudes, because they're two totally different things. The ego, remember, wants to push you down, wants you to make yourself feel better than other people. An attitude doesn't. An attitude is just the outlook of everything. So if you're happy for this day, you're happy, you're light, you're dancing around, you're doing your little jig because you're all egos would think, oh, I could bring a better day than this in. So there's a difference there. And many of us feel that we have to show or have to be somebody else. It's like they want to wear somebody else's skin. And you have to remember, first and foremost, the infinite made you the right size, the right looks, the right personality. You were his creation. So what you look like, what your size is. Now, granted, you may have gained weight, you may have gained wrinkles. We all going to do that. But there's Lord knows every diet on the market. And a lot of that just comes down to eating right, exercising. I'm guilty. I don't do it. Um, but even your personality. And the problem with that is, as we were born into this world, we were born with a clear mind. But even as an infant, all the garbage has been put into our conscious mind. The thoughts that are pressed on us, I guess is a good word for it. I don't know. Um, the background noise, even as an infant, has proven to affect the conscious mind of an infant and a toddler. Um, negative situations and circumstances that a child is put in will make that impression on them. So it's programming, all the programming that has gone into our minds over the time. That can be literally TV programming, media of any kind, movies, music, people that you're hanging around, family and friends, unfortunately. And I talked about family lineages yesterday. Those belief systems come from generations after generations after generations. So you have to be the one to kind of break that if your mindset has been the same one as great, 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 great grandpa or grandma and those type things. So real and lasting changes um, within ourselves, they come in small increments over very long periods of time. So you want to start today to change your attitude. If you're feeling shortchanged, you know, quit complaining to yourself. Listen to that powerful infinite spirit that is inside of you so you can tap into it and start growing into the beautiful spiritual human being that you were meant to be on this earth. And, studies have shown that your attitude is greater of an asset on or an impact on your success than your IQ is. So, the reason I say that is because if you, I'll get back to that. Your beauty, clothing, your car, your big house, they don't hide a nasty, bitter attitude. And there again, that would be more of your ego. And they can go hand in hand. A bad attitude, though, it makes you ugly through and through. If you're snooty and you don't shine a little light and love into a day's time, then people are going to have that attitude about you. They're going to think, well, she's a nasty person. I don't want anything to do with her. And you'll see that distance between you and another person. When you have a compassionate, caring, loving, kind attitude, um, more people are drawn to you. Try that one day. Try that little experiment. If you normally are ugly, just turn that switch off for a minute. Take yourself and put yourself in this happy, joyful mood and talk to people and see what the response is with your very own eyes. You're going to see more love come to you. Don't be fake about it. Be real, and then you're going to start seeing your own self shine as you've never seen it before. When you're in a work environment or applying for a job, most HR people will ask you certain questions, especially when you're interviewing. And if they ask you how to do a certain program or a computer system program or how to do a certain report, and if you lack in in that skill, if your attitude is, well, no, I don't really find myself familiar with it, but I'm willing to learn. If you have a can do or I can attitude, then 90% of the time that will go way over as far as it can. um, as far as compensating for something you may lack in a work setting. But you can also see that in relationships as well, of all kinds as well. You've got to choose who you want to be. And there again, all this is personal choice. If you want to choose your attitude every morning, or better, you need to choose your attitude every morning. You need to choose three things about every day. One of them your attitude, one of them your gratitude, and one of them that's something you want to accomplish in a day's time. And I say no more than three because if we work on ourselves in the beginning of those three, you can add more in time. But when you have mastered the attitude and the gratitude, and then if you conquer one thing that you set out to do that day in your personal growth, then more than likely you are able to accomplish it. So you want to check that attitude every morning. Joel Osteen, who is a minister and also an author, uses an example of this in his book called The Empty Out the Negative. And I'm going to share that with you real quick. It's real short. And it goes like this. In an airplane cockpit, there's an instrument called an attitude indicator. Attitude indicator. It shows how level the plane is oriented to the Earth's horizon. If the pilot wants to ascend, he puts the plane nose high. And if he wants to descend, he puts the plane nose down. It's the same principle in life. If you have a nose high attitude, you're positive. You see the best. You're good to people. You have a smile. You've made up your mind to enjoy the day. You're going to keep rising higher. But if you're sour, you don't want to go to work. You're hard to get along with. You're bitter over disappointments because your attitude is nose down. Then you're going to go in that direction. So sometimes it's what we brought on ourselves. And if you're going to have a good attitude, you have to do it by choice because there's no person, circumstance, or situation that you can truly blame or that could truly change your attitude because it has to be also your mindset of how you're going to react to certain things. You want to ask yourself, what if I go to work today with an attitude of gratitude that I have a position or a job even to go to? There's a lot of people out of work right now, guilty. And a lot of the positions were deleted because of the situations in the world. And so if you still have yours or you've not been disrupted by all this going on, then you need to give thanks for that. What would happen if you were more complimentary, more affectionate, more appreciative in your relationships? Not just a love relationship, but all relationships. I have friends, I say, oh, God, I appreciate you. And it's good to hear when you receive that back. And most of my friends, we tell each other we love each other now. And I thought about that the other day. Growing up, it was just like, hey, see you later, call me later. Now it's, oh, I gotta go. I love you. Call me later. And it's thrown in there. And I truly feel that it is love reciprocated from both sides because we do love each other and appreciate each other. As your attitude raises in positivity, all of the quadrants in your life is going to improve. Your relationships, your time and money management, your vocation, and your health and well-being. And if you choose to live with a bad attitude, it's going to follow you in every aspect as well. Because if you change jobs because you seem like the attitude about your job is, it just makes you nasty, ugly, sour, always complaining, always looking for fault in the people you work with as well as the position. Or in your love relationship, you've nitpicked the wife or the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the fiance to death. Nothing they do is correct. You stay on them like a duck on a June bug, complaining and nagging. And you think 2 weeks later, well, I'm going to find somebody that's the real deal. and a month after that, you find out that's not so either, then you need to take a look at yourself and your inner self and see exactly if it's the choices you made or is it really you? Because if your attitude is the choices that you make, then there again, that bad attitude, those choices are going to continue to follow you because you're still getting the same results. Take a moment and ask yourself if you are the problem. I mean, that's the honest, that is brutally honest as you could get because eventually we grow tired of going in the same wrong direction that we've been going through for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And it's time we decided we wanted a happier, fuller life. And whether you're 18 or you're 80 listening to this, it can be done. But what direction is your attitude going in? I use my mom as an example a lot. She doesn't even see this, so I'm safe there. But she would appreciate it and she'd love it. But she's 85. And her, like many others that are even older than her, your centurions and all, they have that mindset. They have that attitude. They give that gratitude. If you really and truly sit down and talk to someone like that, you can learn so much while you're on your personal journey. Her attitude is she's not getting old. She's not going to get old. And I am here to attest that my mama can outrun me, can outwalk the mall with me, can do a lot of things that's not my mindset. I don't feel like I'm old, but she has had that mindset for so long. She's just such full of vitality and she's my little firecracker. And you know, I know she gives gratitude because that's the way she raised her children for everything. And she'll always say, "We may not have much, but I'm thankful for it." All my life I've heard that. And that's the truth. But we've always had the things we needed. And that's kind of the way it's been. But look, if you read stories of people that have made it to 100, 104, 106, 116, they never really had a diet regimen. Some still, do the senior Olympics up in their 80s, 90s, and some of them even older, I think. Um, the their mindset is still in their teens and 20s, though. You cannot hate somebody for having that attitude. You can't even dislike them. It makes you smile to know, wow, I still have something to look forward to. And it's amazing to wake up, put that fresh new attitude on, and carry it throughout the day. And that's what you need to do. You need to be bold, loving, empowering, compassionate, kind, and most of all, hopeful and faithful because that's your dreams and that's going to come into reality in a short, very period of time. We don't know because that's the divine. I told you last night it'd probably be short, and it is because I still having issues with some stuff I noticed just now. And it's funny, it doesn't show up in when I go through it, but it shows up when I come on air. So let's do us an affirmation. And I'm going to shake up my card. Please like and share. Share with the hashtag Divine Reality LLC. If you're over on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share it. I would greatly appreciate it. Hope everybody's staying cool. It's still warm here in Tennessee. It's going to be for a minute. I hope you've got a great weekend planned. All righty. Let's see. I've shook them. Let's see what we got going on. And the affirmation for today is I accept what my soul has been telling me and I make peace with it. And on the back, sometimes your heart needs more time to accept what your mind already knows. And that's true. When we start letting go of those limiting beliefs, a I think that's kind of backwards maybe sometimes too. Depends on the limiting belief. Um, we tend to want to hold on to it one way or another, and it's got to get aligned and in an agreement. If it's heart over mind or mind over heart, regardless, you've got to line them up and decide what is serving you or not serving you. And if it's not serving your life purpose, then you need to let it go, chunk it. It's not worth the unhappiness, the once again gloom and doom. It's just not worth it. You wanna um you're working on yourself to make this happy life. You don't need people, circumstances, or situations to drag you down. And on that note, that's all I've got, guys. I love and appreciate that you're here, and I am so grateful that you watch. And I will be back Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a great and blessed weekend. Bye bye.